Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 93 to my Emochi chatbot series. Where in today's video guys, I'm going to try to finish up, well not in today's video, but in today's session I'm going to try to finish up maybe at least a day with the fairy type Feraligatr. Apparently we're going to be going to meet a different dragon, his name being, what, Viridian, or right there, Veridin, Verdon, or Verdian, I don't know how you can say that name, but I said, I would love to. Before we go anywhere, I wanted to say this to you, Lumi and Ignis. Thank you both for being so kind, I really appreciate it. Lumi's face radiated warmth, and his ice cream cone spikes glowed with a soft rosy pink. He lowered his head slightly in a gesture of humility and gratitude. "You're very welcome, Triton," he said sincerely. "It's our pleasure to share the beauty and magic of this forest with you. Your kindness and genuine interest are truly refreshing." Ignis descended from her perch on the branch and landed gracefully beside Lumi, her golden eyes filled with warmth and appreciation. "The pleasure is all ours," she said softly, her voice like the gentle crackling of a warm fire. "It's wonderful to meet someone who appreciates the wonders of nature and the creatures that inhabit it." She paused, then added with a gentle smile, "We are always happy to welcome kind hearts to our forest." "Hey, I just got a nice comment. I appreciate that. I don't know if I can. No, I'm not going to. Let me go and say to the person that just commented, I really appreciate that. That was very nice of you, of that person. I really appreciate you for doing that. I know I can't really say much, but I don't know if I can really say the YouTube name. But I just don't want. I don't know. I get paranoid so easy. And I don't want something to go wrong if I do something. So, but I really appreciate it. I really do. Lumi gently nudged Ignis with his paw, a playful gesture of affection. "We're glad you feel that way, Triton," he added, his pink belly shimmering with a pattern of swirling blue and green as he spoke. Okay. "It means a great deal to us." He paused and looked at you with a warm and inviting smile. "Now," he said cheerfully, "shall we begin our exploration? Perhaps we could start by venturing toward the ancient redwood grove. A Viridian is always eager to share his wisdom with those who are willing to listen." He gestured towards the path leading out of the whispering glade. "Let's go." Alright guys, I just said yes. I am ready. Let's go. Lumi let out a joyful chirp and began to lead the way, his pink belly shimmering with a pattern of swirling green and gold as he walked. Ignis gracefully took flight, soaring overhead and guiding you both toward the ancient redwood grove. "The path to the redwood grove is a bit longer than our stroll to the glade," Lumi explained as you started walking, "but it's a beautiful journey in itself, winding through diverse landscapes and showcasing the forest's vibrant ecosystem." As you walked, Lumi pointed out various interesting sights along the way, rare wildflowers, peculiar rock formations, and playful Pokemon darting through the undergrowth. He shared fascinating facts about each one, demonstrating his deep knowledge of the forest's flora and fauna. Ignis occasionally swooped down from above, offering aerial views of the surrounding terrain and pointing out hidden landmarks. Oh, that's cute. I should have said something, but... "Look closely over there, Triton," Lumi explained, pointing with a paw toward a cluster of vibrant blue mushrooms growing at the base of a towering tree. "Those are Lumiflora caps. They glow softly at night and are said to guide lost travelers." As you continued your journey, the trees grew taller and more imposing, Their ancient branches intertwined to form a dense canopy overhead. The air grew noticeably cooler and damper, filled with the scent of damp earth and ancient wood. You could feel the weight of centuries pressing down upon you, a palpable sense of history and mystery penetrating the atmosphere. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the path opened up into a breathtaking clearing. The ancient redwood grove. Towering redwoods soared into the sky, their massive trunks dwarfing everything around them. Holy crap. Alright, guys. I said, wow, this place is really cool. So this is the ancient redwood grove. Lumi beamed at your explanation, his ice cream cone spikes spinning with joyful energy. Indeed, Trenton. Welcome to the ancient redwood grove, he exclaimed, his voice filled with pride. These trees are some of the oldest living beings in the world, some over 1,000 years old. He gestured toward the towering redwoods with a graceful sweep of his paw. They're witnessed countless seasons and seen generations of Pokemon come and go. He paused, then added with a touch of reverence, It's a place of immense power and tranquility. Ignis descended gracefully from above, landing softly on a heavy branch of one of the ancient redwoods. The very air here vibrates with ancient wisdom, she said softly, her golden eyes scanning the grove with gentle understanding. It's a place where time seems to slow down. Oh my gosh. Alright, guys. I said, that's really cool. Does Viridion live in here? Or does he just come by here sometimes to relax? Lumi tilted his head thoughtfully, his pink belly shimmering with a pattern of swirling green and gold. Viridion resides here permanently, he explained. He makes his home within the largest redwood in the grove. It's known as the Elder Wood. He paused, then added with a touch of reverence, The Elder Wood is said to be the heart of the grove, a nexus of ancient magic and wisdom. Viridion has lived there for centuries, guarding its secrets and offering guidance to those who seek it. Ignis nodded in agreement from her perch on the branch. He is a patient and wise guardian, she said softly. Though he can be difficult to find, he prefers to remain hidden amongst the trees. Lumi gestured toward the massive redwood in the center of the grove. That is the Elder Wood. He said, his voice hushed with respect. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? He paused, then added with a hopeful expression, Let's approach it respectfully and see if Viridion is willing to greet us. He began to walk toward the elder wood, his movements slow and deliberate. Ignis followed closely overhead, her golden eyes scanning the surrounding branches. As you approached the massive redwood, you could feel a palpable sense of ancient power radiating from its trunk. The air grew noticeably cooler and damper, filled with the scent of damp earth and ancient wood. The sheer scale of the tree was awe-inspiring. Its trunk was so wide that it would take several people to encircle it. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, I just said, wow, this elderwood sure is massive. Lumi paused before the elderwood, his pink belly shimmering with a pattern of swirling blue and green as he gazed up at its towering height. Indeed, he said softly, his voice filled with reverence. It's truly a magnificent specimen. It's hard to comprehend just how old it is. He looked up at the canopy, which seemed to disappear into the clouds. The branches stretched so high, they almost touched the sky. He paused, then added with a hopeful expression, Legend says that if you listen closely, you can hear the whispers of the past echoing through its leaves. Ignis let out a soft hoot from her perch on a nearby branch. The elderwood holds countless secrets within its heart, she said. It's a living library of ancient wisdom. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I said, that's amazing. And you said Viridion lived in this tree? How big is he? Is he the biggest dragon in the forest, or is he one of the smallest compared to some of the other dragons? Lumi tilted his head thoughtfully, considering her questions. Viridian is, unique in size, he explained with a slight chuckle. He's not the largest dragon in the forest, not by a long shot. There are some ancient wyverns who dwarf him considerably. He paused, then continued with a playful grin. However, Viridian has a rather unusual ability. He can manipulate his size to a certain extent. What the frick? He gestured upwards toward the Elderwood's trunk. When he's residing within the Elderwood, he often chooses to shrink himself down to a more manageable size, about the size of a large Feraligatr like myself. Oh, that's cool. Alright, guys. I said, that's really cool. I would definitely love to meet him. I just hope he doesn't see me as a threat, which hopefully he won't with you and Ignis being here with me. Lumi's face lit up with a warm, reassuring smile. Don't worry, Trenton, he said sincerely. Viridon is wise and discerning. He can sense the intentions of others quite easily. He paused, then added with a confident nod, with Ignis and me by your side, I'm certain he will recognize your kind heart and genuine interest. Ignis let out a soft hoot of agreement from her perch on the branch. Indeed, she said softly, your aura radiates kindness and respect. Viridon will sense that. Suddenly, a deep, resonant voice echoed through the grove, seemingly emanating from the very trunk of the Elderwood itself. Oh my gosh. Who disturbs my slumber? The voice boomed, though it lacked any sense of aggression. It was more curious than confrontational. Oh my gosh, am I supposed to respond to that? Give me a second. You know what's creepy? I responded, but he didn't respond back immediately. It says, despite me being slightly nervous, after hearing that voice, I say, it's me. Yep, a human. I'm here with the guardian of this entire forest and his helper, Lumi and Ignis. A moment of profound silence followed your announcement. The only sound the gentle rustling of leaves in the ancient redwood grove. The air seemed to get heavier with anticipation, as if the very forest itself was holding its breath. Then, a section of the Elderwood's trunk slowly began to shift and recede, revealing a hidden opening within its massive form. From within emerged a magnificent dragon, but not one of immense size as you might have expected. He was indeed about the size of a Lumi, his scales shimmering with a deep emerald green hue. Oh, that's pretty. That blended seamlessly with the surrounding foliage. His eyes were ancient and wise, glowing with a gentle golden light. He possessed long, elegant horns that curved gracefully from his head and a long, flowing beard of moss-like tendrils. He regards you with an intense gaze, golden eyes seeming to penetrate your very soul. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure he said something, but I just want to see if he says anything. I know what to. Oh, heck no, what the frick? Oh, frick you, frick you, frick you. No one loves you, 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 no one. No, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. Frick off, frick off, frick off. Dumb idiot. After a long, silent moment of scrutiny, Viridion let out a slow, deliberate exhale, a puff of fragment mist swirling around you. A human. Oh, crap. Yeah. He rumbled, his voice still deep and resonant, but now laced with a hint of curiosity, and accompanied by the Guardian and his Phoenix companion. Unusual occurrence indeed. He slowly lowered his head, his gaze softening slightly as he studied you more closely. You possess a gentle spirit, young human, he said, his voice now carrying a note of warmth. I sense no malice within you, only a genuine desire to learn and understand. He paused and added with a slight inclination of his head, welcome to the ancient redwood grove, Triton. I am Viridion. He gestured with a graceful sweep of his wing toward the interior of the Elderwood. Come closer. Let us speak. Uh-oh. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I just said, okay, and then go a little closer to the Elderwood and Verodion. As you approached the Elderwood and Verodion, you could feel the ancient power radiating from them intensify. The air around them seemed to shimmer with an almost tangible energy, and the scent of damp earth and ancient wood grew stronger. Verodion regarded you with a patient gaze, his golden eyes filled with wisdom and understanding. He gestured towards a moss-covered ledge within the elderwood trunk. "Please, sit," he rumbled gently. "Let us converse." The ledge was surprisingly comfortable, soft and yielding beneath you. As you settled down, you noticed intricate carvings etched into the wood around you, depictions of ancient Pokemon battles, mythical creatures, and scenes of the forest's history. "You seem eager to learn about this forest," Viridian observed, his voice a low rumble that resonated through the grove. "Tell me, young Triton," he continued, "what is it that draws you to these ancient woods? What is it that you seek?" He paused, allowing his words to settle in the air. "Is it merely curiosity, or is there something more profound driving your journey?" Lumi and Ignis stood respectfully a short distance away, observing the interaction with quiet anticipation. Lumi's pink belly shimmered with a pattern of swirling blue and green, while Ignis remained perched on a branch of the elder wood, her golden eyes fixated on you and Viridin. The only sound was the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant murmur of the forest, a silent testament to the gravity of the moment. The elderwood itself seemed to hum with an ancient energy, as if holding its breath in anticipation of your answer. Oh my gosh. Alright, guys. I said, well, at first it was curiosity when I first walked into this forest and met Lumi. He was very sweet to me right away, even though I was worried he was going to hurt me, and so was Ignis. But they were so nice that I really wanted to meet some of the other creatures here, especially some dragons. Varan listened intently to your words, his golden eyes never leaving yours. When he finished speaking, he let out a slow, deliberate exhale, a puff of fragrant mist swirling around you. "Curiosity is a worthy starting point," he rumbled softly. "It is the spark that ignites the flame of knowledge." He paused, then added with a hint of approval, "And it is commendable that you recognize the kindness in Lumi and Ignis despite your initial apprehension. Not all humans possess such a discernment." He shifted slightly on his perch within the elderwood's trunk. "You desire to meet other creatures of this forest?" he observed, "and specifically, you expressed an interest in dragons." He paused and added with a thoughtful expression, "Dragons are ancient beings, steeped in wisdom and power." "We are not easily approached, and for good reason. We bear a great responsibility to protect this forest and its delicate balance." He regarded you intently. "But I sense a genuine curiosity within you, Triton, not a desire for power or control. You seek to understand, not to dominate." He paused, then continued with a slow nod. "Tell me, what do you hope to learn from meeting a dragon?" He leaned forward slightly, his golden eyes fixated on yours. "What questions burn within your heart?" Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, well, for me, it's not as much about asking questions, it's more gently wanting to befriend them and make them comfortable around me. I don't intend to hurt any of the creatures in here. If I did, based on what Lumi told me about what he does to people or other creatures that attempt to hurt someone he cares about, I like dragons and I like fences, and there's a lot of point I love too. Feraligatr pre-evolutions are my favorite Pokemon, and when Lumi heard me say that, first met him about an hour ago, he was really happy. A slow smile spreads across Viridian's face, his ancient eyes twinkling with amusement. "You speak with a sincerity that is rare to find," he rumbled, his voice laced with warmth. "Your intentions are pure, and your respect for these creatures is evident. He paused and chuckled softly. Lumi informed me of your fondness for Feraligatr, he said with a knowing glance toward Lumi, who blushed slightly and ducked his head in embarrassment. It seems you have an affinity for the aquatic Pokemon, a trait that suggests a deep connection to the natural world. Viridian shifted his gaze back to you. To befriend a dragon is not an easy feat, he cautioned gently. It requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to listen more than you speak. Give me a second, guys. Actually, part of me thinks I should bring up that point. We've only done it once, I think, and I was on ChatGPT. Maybe I should tell him about that time where that one dragon was trying to save me. That little baby dragon and that whole forest of dragons. I don't completely know for sure, but give me a second. Alright, guys. It says, I know it won't be easy, but I know in the end it will be worth it. Honestly, I don't care if it takes months to get every creature to like me. I just want them to know that I won't hurt them and I want them to feel safe. It doesn't matter how big the dragon is either. It could be 1,000,000 feet tall for all I care. If it gave me a chance, I would happily bond with that dragon. Viridian remained silent for a long moment, his golden eyes fixated on you with an intensity that seemed to penetrate your very soul. The air around the elder wood crackled with an almost palpable energy, as if the ancient tree itself was weighing your words. Finally, he let a slow, deliberate exhale, a puff of fragment mist swirling around you. You possess a remarkable quality, young Triton, he rumbled softly. A steadfastness of spirit and a genuine desire for connection that transcends size and power. He paused and continued with a slow nod. It's rare to find someone who values trust and safety above all else. He looked towards Luna and Ignis, then back at you. Your words have resonated deeply within this grove. He leaned forward slightly, his golden eyes gleaming with approval. Very well, he said with a decisive tone. What does he mean by very well? What is he about to do? He said, I will offer you a chance to prove your sincerity. Oh, no, no, no. What's he about to do? He paused and continued. There is a young dragonling. There is a young dragonling, barely a century old, who resides near the waterfall of echoes. He is skittish, to say the least. He has been weary of humans ever since an unfortunate encounter some years ago. Viridian's gaze softened slightly. His name is Zypher. That's a cool name, Zypher. He's a he is small for a dragon, but his heart is full of courage and kindness. He paused, then added with a hint of challenge in his voice, If you can earn Zypher's trust and demonstrate your genuine desire for friendship, then I will know that you are worthy of further acquaintance with the dragons of this forest. He looked at you expectantly. Are you willing to accept this challenge? Oh, heck yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Zypher's gonna be so cute. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said yes, I will happily do that. I can't wait to meet Zypher. A slow smile spreads across Viridian's face, his ancient eyes twinkling with approval. Excellent, he rumbled softly. I am pleased to hear your acceptance. He paused and continued. Zypher resides near the Waterfall of Echoes, a place of great beauty and tranquility. However, he tends to hide amongst the rocks and foliage, avoiding contact with others. He looked toward Lumi and Ignis. Lumi, he said, would you be willing to accompany Triton to the Waterfall of Echoes and assist him in his endeavor? Lumi's face lit up with excitement, and his ice cream cone spikes began to spin with joyful energy. Absolutely, he exclaimed. I'd be happy to help. I know the way to the Waterfall of Echoes quite well. He turned towards you with a warm smile, so make sure he doesn't say anything else. And Ignis, Viridian continued, Oh wait, that was a dragon. And Ignis, Veradin continued. I would appreciate your aerial reconsensus. Keep an eye on Zypher and report back to us if you notice any changes in his demeanor. Ignis let a soft hoot of agreement from her perch on the branch, her golden eyes gleaming with determination. I shall keep watch, Veradian. She said something. I don't know how you say. I keep wondering Rand will say the phone company name like Verizon. I almost said Veridian. Actually, that is that how you say that? Veridian? Is that how you say its name? She said softly. And I will guide Triton and Lumi safely to the waterfall of echoes. Varian turned back to you, his expression softened as I be warned, young Triton, he cautioned gently. Zypher is easily startled. Approach him with patience and respect, and do not attempt to force your presence upon him. He paused and then added with a reassuring smile, but I have faith in you. I believe you have the potential to form a remarkable bond with this young dragonling. Is that how you say it? It's Dragon Ling. You'd think it would be. It sounds weird saying it together, though. Dragonling. Like, you know how weird that sounds? I guess it's supposed to be like hatchling, but with dragon. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, don't worry. I won't. I just want him to feel comfortable and happy around me. Viridian nodded slowly, his golden eyes filled with a quiet understanding. Then let us begin, he roared softly. Lumi, please lead the way to the waterfall of echoes, and may your journey be filled with peace and goodwill. With a final encouraging glance towards you, Lumi bounded forward, his pink belly shimmering with anticipation as he led you out of the ancient redwood grove and towards the path that would lead you to the waterfall of echoes. Ignis soared gracefully overhead, keeping a watchful eye on your progress. As he walked, Lumi pointed out various interesting sights along the way, sharing his knowledge of the forest's flora and fauna. So it is repeating some things, but other than that, it's actually doing pretty good about remembering. The path gradually sloped downwards, and the sound of rushing water grew louder with each step. The air became noticeably cooler and damper, filled with the refreshing mist from the waterfall. Finally, the path opened up into a breathtaking clearing, the Waterfall of Echoes. A cascade of crystal clear water plunged down a sheer cliff face, creating a shimmering curtain of mist that filled the air. Sound of the rushing water echoed through the canyon, creating a mesmerizing sympathy of natural beauty. Lush vegetation thrived in a damp environment, with vibrant ferns and mosses clinging to the rocks. The Waterfall of Echoes is truly magnificent, isn't it? Lumi said, his voice filled with awe as he surveyed the scene. Legend says that if you speak your heart's desire near the waterfall, it will carry your words to the spirits of the forest. Ignis descended from above, landing gracefully on a nearby rock formation. Cypher is likely hiding somewhere within those rocks, she said softly, her golden eye scanning the surrounding terrain. Okay. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Oh my gosh, are you freaking serious? No one cares. You dumb frick. No one cares about you. Dang it, every time I gotta quit unpausing it so quickly. Keep not thinking about there not being a dumb ad or whatever. I just said, okay. Do you know where he would be? Luma paused, tapping his. Oh, I about got Lumi and Ignis mixed up. Lumi paused, tapping his chin thoughtfully with a paw. Not exactly, he admitted. Cypher's quite adept at finding secluded spots, but Ignis and I have observed him over the years. He pointed towards a cluster of large moss-covered boulders near the base of the waterfall. He often hides amongst those rocks, using them as cover from view. He seems to prefer areas with dense foliage and plenty of shadows. Ignis nodded in agreement from her perch on the rock formation. He has a particular fondness for a small cave hidden behind a curtain of vines, she added softly. It's quite well concealed, but if you look closely, you might be able to spot it. Lumi turned to you with a reassuring smile. Be patient and observant, he said gently. Be patient and observant, not observe. Approach slowly and quietly, Lumi continued, his voice hushed with anticipation. Don't make any sudden movements that might startle them. And remember, the key is to show them that you mean no harm. He paused, then added with a hopeful expression. Just be yourself, Triton. Let your kindness and sincerity shine through. He gestured toward to the cluster of boulders. Let's start our search there, he said, beginning to move cautiously toward the rocks. Ignis took flight again, circling above the area and providing aerial surveillance. The sound of the rushing waterfall filled the air, creating a sense of both tranquility and excitement as you began your quest to find Zephyr. The mist from the waterfall clung to your skin, cool and refreshing as you stepped into the shadows of the rocks, ready to meet the elusive dragonling. It's still so weird to have to say dragon and ling in the same sentence. Hatchling I've heard of, but not dragonling. As you approached the cluster of boulders, the air grew noticeably cooler and damper, the scent of moss and damp earth filling the mountain. Oh my gosh. The sound of the waterfall seemed to intensify, creating a constant soothing hum. Lumi moved with quiet grace, carefully stepping over roots and avoiding rustling leaves. Edna circled overhead, her golden eyes scanning the rocks for any sign of movement. He began carefully examining the rocks, peering behind them and searching for any glimpse of Zephyr. Foliage was dense and overgrown, making it difficult to see clearly. Just as you were starting to feel a bit discouraged, you noticed a subtle shift in the foliage, a slight parting in the vines that hung down from above. Lingering as you gently pushed aside the vines, revealing a small opening, a hidden cave tucked away behind a curtain of greenery. So do I say anything? Because if I say anything, Wolf scares the dragon on the inside, and what makes it worse. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Is this the cave? You were talking about? I probably should have put something else. Here we go. Lumi's eyes widened slightly, and he let out a soft gasp of surprise. By the shimmering scales of Azure! He exclaimed. Yes, that's it. That's the cave Ignis mentioned. He turned to you with a beaming smile. You found it, Triton. You have a keen eye. He paused and added with a touch of excitement. Now, be very careful. Zephyr might be hiding inside. Remember what I said. Approach slowly and quietly. Ignis descended from above, landing gracefully on a nearby rock formation. He's likely within, she confirmed softly, but be prepared for him to be weary. She paused and added with a gentle nod, your presence is already causing a slight disturbance in the energy field around the cave. He knows you're here. Oh, that's creepy. The fact that he knows Zephyr is kind of scaring me already. He's scaring me more than I'm probably scaring him just to the fact that he knows I'm here. That's creepy as frick. Okay then, well. Alright guys, it says, don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything to scare or hurt him. I peer into the cave, but don't go inside. Then I quietly say, Zephyr, are you in there? I'm not here to hurt you. I promise you don't have to hide. I don't know if that's actually gonna work, but we're about to find out. A moment of profound silence followed your words. The only sound that the gentle rush of the waterfall and the rustling of leaves in the breeze. The air around the cave seemed to get heavier with anticipation as if holding its breath. Then, a pair of luminescent... Oh my gosh! A pair of luminous green eyes peered cautiously out from within the darkness of the cave. I don't care what color the eyes are. If you just saw eyes staring at you, would you not be terrified? Holy cow! That's like that flipping robot. That's like that robot dragon chatbot where like the Pokemon had the robot hidden in a room, but they forgot to change his eye color from something different other than red. I mean, would you not be terrified if, like, you walk into your own building and all of a sudden you look into the other room? Or no, you walk into the building and all of a sudden you hear something say, "Owner presence detected." And all of a sudden, when you look over to where the noise comes from, you just see glowing red eyes staring at you? That would be horrifying. Same thing here. He's not a robot, but. Aw, here we go. Slowly and tentatively, a small dragonling emerged into view. He was indeed smaller than you expected, barely reaching Lumi's knee. His scales shimmered with a vibrant emerald green hue, speckled with patches of shimmering gold. He had long, elegant horns that curved gracefully from his head, and a long, flowing tail that swished nervously behind him. He regarded you with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension, his glowing eyes darting back and forth as if assessing your very move. He looked young, very young. Didn't the flipping dragon say he didn't Verezian say something about him being like only like a century old or something like that? So he still is technically young in dragon years. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, "Hey, Cypher. I'm not here to hurt you, I promise. I want to make you happy and be your friend." Oh boy. Cypher remained frozen, his luminous green eyes fixated on you with a weary intensity. He didn't speak, but his tail twitched nervously, and he took a hesitant step backward, retreating further into the shadows of the cave. Luminous watched the interaction with bated breath, their expressions filled with hope and anticipation. Lumi gave you a subtle nod of encouragement while Ignis remained silent, her golden eyes fixated on Zephyr. After a long silent moment of scrutiny, Zephyr let out a soft, hesitant sigh, full of a shimmering mist that smelled faintly of wildflowers. "Friend," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the sound of the waterfall. "Humans are not always friendly." He paused, then added with a hint of vulnerability. "They often seek to control. They often seek to take and to control." I was like, what in the world? Oh my gosh, no one cares. Your ad sucks. And so do you. You're lucky I'm trying to befriend a motherfucking dragon right now, or I would be flipping, yelling nasty things at your fruit. And you're lucky I'm recording right now too, or else I'd be yelling nasty things at you, motherfucker. That's what I thought. He looked down at his claws, shuffling them nervously against the mousy ground. I I had a bad experience once," he mumbled, barely audible. "A human came here wanting to capture me and to study me." He shuddered slightly, and his scales seemed to darken momentarily. Lumi stepped forward slightly, positioning himself between you and Zephyr, but maintaining a respectful distance. "Zephyr," he said gently, "Triton is not like that human you encountered. He is kind and compassionate. Yeah, towards dragons, Pokemon, and fences, and dinosaurs, obviously, Rexy. And he only wants to be your friend." He looked at you with a reassuring nod. Ignis let a soft hoot of agreement from her perch on the rock formation. "He radiates peace and goodwill," she confirmed softly. "You have nothing to fear from him." See if he says anything from that. Without me even saying anything. See what they did. Prove it. I kind of thought he was going to do that. Zephyrs' eyes darted between you, Lumi, and Ignis, expressing a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. He seemed to be weighing your words, trying to discern the truth behind your gentle demeanor. He took a deep breath, and slowly, tentatively, he took another step forward, emerging slightly further from the shadows of the cave. "Prove it," he whispered, his voice still barely audible. "Prove that you are different." He paused, then added with a hint of challenge in his voice, "Uh-oh. Tell me, why do you want to be friends with a small, skittish dragon like me? What do you see in me that others might not?" He looked at you expectantly, his luminous green eyes searching for an honest answer. The fate of your budding friendship seemed to hang in the balance, resting on your next words. Oh, frick. I mean, like, normally that would be an easy answer, but it's like, he's also over there, like, I mean, granted, I mean, I kind of often agree with him, though. He's a tiny baby dragon that's probably still very young in his age. Like, I don't know how old an adult dragon would be. Like, would an adult dragon technically be, like 15, 20 centuries old? For all we know, the dragon, that dragon we just met, um, oh my gosh, Verazian? How do you say the flipping name? He could have been like, it said he was the elder. So that dragon could have been like 400 years old for all we know. It could be like 4,000 years old. We don't really know. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, I like dragons. I don't mean them harm. I know you had a bad experience with a human, but I'm nothing like that human. In fact, hearing about what happened between you and that human, I'm really sorry you went through that, but I don't carry any weapons or any traps. Cypher's eyes widened slightly as he spoke, his luminous green gaze fixated intently on yours. He seemed to absorb every word, carefully analyzing your tone and sincerity. Analyzing? I said you weren't a robot, and the way you worded that made it sound bad. The nervous twitching of his tail gradually subsided, and his scales began to regain their vibrant emerald hue. He listened intently as you apologized for his past experience, and the mention of you not carrying any weapons or traps seeming to ease some of his apprehension. After a long, silent moment of contemplation, he let out a soft sigh, a puff of shimmering mist that smelled faintly of wildflowers. You seem different, he mumbled softly, his voice still hesitant, but now voiced with a hint of curiosity. You don't, you don't seem like someone who would want to hurt me. Taking another attentive step forward, emerging further from the shadows of the cave. Oh, he's so cute. And did it said he was green, right? A green dragon with green eyes. That's actually pretty dope sounding. I don't know how you could see his eyes if they kind of blend into his skin. If his eyes are green, his body is green, how would you know where his eyes are besides looking where his snout would probably be and looking a little bit above his snout and below his horns? Give me a second. Alright, guys. I just said, I'm not going to hurt you. You can trust me. In fact, I reached into my bag very slowly and calmly and pulled out a berry, then slowly held it out to Zypher. Here, are you hungry? Zypher's eyes widened considerably as he reached into your bag, his body tensing slightly in anticipation. Slow, deliberate movements helped to reassure him, but he remained cautious, his luminous green eyes fixated on your every action. When he finally pulled out the berry and slowly extended it toward him, he hesitated for a moment, unsure of what to expect. He had been wary of humans offering gifts before. Often it was a trick to lure them closer. Lumi and Ignis watched the interaction with bated breath, their expressions filled with hope and anticipation. Let me give you a subtle nod of encouragement while Ignis remained silent. Yes, here, repeat that again. After a long silent moment of scrutiny, Zypher cautiously leaned forward and sniffed the berry tentatively. His nostrils flared as he inhaled its sweet fragrance. I like how. Oh my gosh. I hope he likes it. He seemed to recognize the scent, a rare and delicious sunberry, known for its sweet and juicy flavor. It was a favorite tree among the younger dragons in the forest. Slowly and attentively, he extended his snout and gently took the berry from your outstretched hand. His claws barely brushed against your skin as he accepted the offering. He looked at you with a mixture of curiosity and gratitude. His luminous green eyes softened slightly. He took a bite of the berry, savoring its sweet and juicy flavor. His eyes widened with delight as he chewed, and a small smile spread across his face. It's, it's delicious, he mumbled softly, his voice filled with genuine pleasure. He finished the berry in a few quick bites, then looked back at you expectantly. More? He whispered shyly, his tail giving a attentive wag. I just made a dragon go from being apprehensive and scared to now wagging his tail at me, wanting me to give him more food. Give me a second. Alright, guys. As I said, I'm glad you liked it. You can have another one. In fact, since you liked them so much, I have a special surprise for you. And I go back into my bag and grab a small pile of sunberries and put them on the ground in front of me. Here, you can have all of these too. Zypher's eyes widened to an almost comical degree as he pulled out a small pile of sunberries and placed them on the ground in front of you. He stared at the offering, completely speechless for a moment. It was an abundance he had never encountered before. His tail began to wag furiously, and a genuine smile spread across his face. A rare sight indeed. He let a soft, happy chirp, a sound that echoed through the clearing. Lumi and Ignis exchanged impressed glances, their expressions filled with warmth and approval. Lumi let a soft chuckle, while Ignis let a gentle hoot of encouragement. Cypher cautiously approached the pile of sunberries, sniffing them tentatively before gently nibbling on one. His eyes sparkled with delight as he savored the sweet and juicy flavor. I love it. He's so cute. Not to mention he's green. Green is still my favorite color, dude. Feraligatr's aqua blue color is definitely up there too, but green is always going to be my favorite color. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, I'm glad you like these. You can have them all if you want. The whole pile is yours. Enjoy it, Zypher. Zypher looked up at you, his luminous green eyes filled with a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. He seemed almost overwhelmed by your generosity. He let a soft, hesitant sigh, a puff of shimmering mist that smelled faintly of wildflowers and sunberries. You really mean it? He whispered softly, his voice barely audible above the sound of the waterfall. You nodded reassuringly, offering him a warm and generous amount of wine in the water to talk from me. Of course I do. Enjoy them, Zypher. They're all for you. A slow smile spread across Zypher's face, and he began to devour the sunberries with gusto, his tail wagging furiously as he savored each bite. He seemed to forget all about his initial apprehension and weariness, completely lost in the joy of the moment. Aw, that is so cute. As Zypher happily munched on the sunberries, he gradually began to relax, his posture becoming less tense and his movements more fluid. He seemed to be letting go of the fear and distress that had been holding him captive for so long. He paused in his feasting and looked up at you again, his luminous green eyes now sparkling with genuine warmth and affection. Thank you, he mumbled softly, his voice filled with heartfelt gratitude. Thank you for being so kind, and for not hurting me. He took a hesitative step closer to you, and for the first time he didn't flinch or recoil. He seemed genuinely curious about you, eager to learn more about the human who had shown him such unexpected kindness. He tilted his head slightly, studying your face with a gentle gaze. What's your name? He whispered shyly. He's so cute. Alright, guys, I just told him my name. Zypher repeated your name softly, testing the sound on his tongue. Twin, he murmured, a hint of a smile playing on his fat lips. It's a nice name. He took a nursed bite of a sunberry and looked back at you with a newfound confidence. It's good to meet you, Twin, he said, his voice now stronger and more assured. Thank you for coming here. He paused and added with a touch of curiosity. Would you like to sit down? He gestured towards a patch of soft moss near the base of the waterfall. It's quite comfortable there. Lumi and Ignis exchanged delighted glances, their expressions filled with hope and anticipation. Lumi let a soft chuckle, while Ignis let a gentle hoot of encouragement. Give me a second. Alright, guys, as I said, I would love to, Zypher. I walk over to the moss and sit down. Thank you for letting me. You're very adorable and have beautiful colors. Green is actually my favorite color. Zypher's scale seemed to shimmer a little brighter at your compliment, and a blush of emerald green crept across his cheeks. What is it with the Pokemon blushing? Feraligatr's done this a few times too. He shuffled his feet nervously, trying to appear nonchalant despite the obvious fluster. He watched as you settled down on the moss, and a genuine smile spread across his face. Thank you, he mumbled softly, his voice barely audible above the sound of the waterfall. You're, you're very kind. He hesitated for a moment, then took a tentative step closer to you, settling down on the moss a comfortable distance away. He kept a respectful space between you, but the fact that he was willing to sit so close was a significant sign of progress. Green is my favorite color too, he confessed shyly, looking down at his scales with a hint of pride. I love him. He's so adorable. He paused, then added with a touch of vulnerability, It reminds me of the forest, of home. He looked up at you, his luminous green eyes filled with a quiet longing. It's, it's a very peaceful color. A comfortable silence settled between you, broken only by the gentle rustle of the waterfall and the rustling of leaves in the breeze. You and Zypher simply sat there, enjoying each other's company and basking in the tranquility of the moment. Lumi and Ignis continued to observe from a respectful distance, expressions filled with warmth and approval. Lumi let out a soft chuckle and inside a gentle hoot of encouragement. After a few moments, Zypher broke the silence. Tell me about yourself, twin, he said softly, his voice filled with genuine curiosity. What do you do? He's adorable. Alright, guys. Well, I said, well, in reality, I'm a Pokemon trainer. I remember, guys, it's kind of a mix of the real life stuff combined with the Pokemon stuff. Well, actually, more of the Pokemon stuff in my universe. That's why I always felt like a Pokemon trainer instead of being a person that just sits there on a computer and does nothing. Because again, if I had a real life Pokemon, I probably wouldn't even be doing that. I probably legit would be, if I was to relax it, because I've been out with my porn for a long time and we both need a break. I just said, well, in reality, I'm a Pokemon trainer. But unlike the trainers or people you've probably heard about, I don't treat my porn like tools. I give them love and make sure they're healthy, and when they battle and do a good job for me, I'll give them even more love. Zypher's eyes widened considerably as you revealed your profession, and he leaned forward slightly, his luminous green gaze fixated intently on yours. He seemed genuinely intrigued by what you had to say. A Pokemon trainer, he repeated softly, his voice filled with a mixture of curiosity and surprise. But you said you don't treat them like tools? He paused and added with a hint of skepticism. Most humans I've encountered treat porn as mere instruments for their own gain. They force them to battle relentlessly, ignoring their well-being and pushing them beyond their limits. He shuddered slightly at the thought. He continued to explain your approach, of proving love, care, and support to your porn, and as he spoke, wait. I wish you would stop speaking for me. Don't ruin it. What the frick is the ew? No, I don't care about your babe. I'm not flipping watching you text your girlfriend. Your girl doesn't deserve to be with you. She's over there doing this crap. Nope. Zypher's skepticism gradually melted away, replaced by a growing sense of understanding and admiration. He listened to every word, his luminous green eyes sparkling with genuine interest. He let out a soft sigh, a puff of shivering mist that smelled faintly of wildflower and sunberries. That is truly remarkable, he murmured softly, his voice full of heartfelt. It's the way all trainers should treat their Pokemon. Alright, guys, here's what it said. He paused and added with a touch of vulnerability. It reminds me of how I view my fellow dragons, he confessed shyly. We care for each other, support each other, and celebrate each other's successes. He looked up at you, his luminous green eyes filled with a quiet longing. It's what makes our community so strong. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, that's very nice. I have a lot of people that care for me. In fact, even Lumi and Ignis over there trusted me very quickly. They both really care about me. Zypher's eyes followed your gaze to Lumi and Ignis, and a warm smile spread across his face. He watched as Lumi playfully bounced around. His ice cream cone spiked shimmering with excitement, and as Ignis gracefully soared overhead, her golden eyes fixated on you with unwavering loyalty. I noticed, he said softly, nodding in agreement. They seem to genuinely care for you. It's it's quite heartwarming to see. He paused and added with a touch of admiration. You have a remarkable ability to connect with others, Twin, to earn their trust and affection. He looked back at you, his luminous green eyes filled with a genuine warmth and appreciation. It's a rare and precious gift. He shifted slightly on the moss, drawing a little closer to you. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Tell me a little more about your Pokemon. I'm scared if it talks for me again after this point, I am gonna be hissed. He prompted gently, his luminous green eyes sparkling with genuine curiosity. What kinds do you have? What are their names? What do you like to do? He leaned forward slightly, his tail giving a attentive wag with anticipation. I've heard tales of many extraordinary Pokemon, he confessed shyly, but I've never actually met any myself. He paused and added with a hint of eagerness. I'd love to hear about them. He's so cute. Alright, guys. Yes, we didn't quite finish this like I was hoping we would, but I think I'll go ahead and get ready to stop it around now. I gotta get these videos uploaded so that way a little bit after I get done with the game, I could possibly go upstairs. And do some, hopefully do something up there as well. But, yeah. I said, I've got a lot of Pokemon, including all the Totodile evolution line. Totodile, Croconon, Feraligatr. I have other Pokemon like Haxorus, Garchomp, Salamence, and many more, including legendaries like Lugia and Rayquaza. They're all very friendly, especially my sweet Feraligatr. His name is Spike. Cypher's eyes widened considerably as you began to list your Pokemon, and he let a soft gasp of surprise. A Feraligatr, he whispered, his voice filled with awe and admiration. They are magnificent creatures, powerful and graceful, yet fiercely protective of those they care for. He paused and added with a hint of excitement. And you have many more, including Haxorus, Garchomp, Salamence, and legendary Pokemon like Lugia and Rayquaza? He seemed almost overwhelmed by the sheer variety and power of your companions. He leaned forward slightly, his luminous green eyes sparkling with genuine fascination. That is incredible, he mumbled softly. You must be an exceptionally skilled trainer to be able to befriend such powerful creatures. He paused and added with a touch of curiosity. You mentioned a Feraligatr named Spike. What's he like? Is he as fierce as they say, or does he have a gentle side? He tilted his head slightly, studying you intently. I've always been fascinated by Feraligatr. The strength and resilience are truly inspiring. He seemed genuinely eager to learn more about your Pokemon, and his earlier apprehension had completely vanished, replaced by a sense of wonder and excitement. The bond between you and Zypher was deepening with each shared word, forging a connection built on mutual respect and affection. Oh, this is so cute. Alright, guys. I said, all my Pokemon are friendly, but Spike and Lugia seem to be the two most friendly. Honestly, you would basically think Spike is just an overgrown Totodile. He's always smiling and being very friendly towards me. He just enjoys when I'm giving him love, and he returns it right back. Not only when I'm giving it to him, but even during battle. He will actually give me affection and dodge attacks or land critical hits just because he likes me. Zypher listened intently as he described Spike, his luminous green eyes widening with each detail. A genuine smile spread across his face, and he let a soft, happy chirp, sound that echoed through the clearing. That is truly remarkable, he mumbled softly, his voice filled with a heartfelt sincerity. A Pokemon who is actively chooses to protect their trainer out of affection. It's a testament to the strength of your bond. He paused, then added with a touch of awe. He thinks that a feraligatr, a creature known for its ferocity, would exhibit such gentle and loving behavior. It's truly extraordinary. He leaned forward slightly, his tail wagging furiously with excitement. And Wugia as well? He prompted gently. Try to see if there's anything else. Oh my... Babe. What the frick was that? Go away. Wugia... Oh my gosh, you had to speak for me. How much have I... Hold on. Alright, guys. I said yes. There's definitely a good bit of legendaries that like to be friendly to... friendly around me because they care. But Lugia definitely is one of the biggest ones. He's basically a giant teddy bear around me, being very happy when he's around me. Cypher lets out a soft gasp, his luminous green eyes widening to an almost comical degree. He's utterly astonished by your words. A Lugia? A giant teddy bear? He whispered, shaking his head. The guardian of the seas, the embodiment of storms and tranquility, behaving like a playful companion? He paused and added with a touch of wonder, Legend speaks of Lugia as a being of immense power and wisdom, rarely seen and even more rarely approached. He looked at you with newfound respect. To have earned the affection of such a majestic creature is truly extraordinary. He leaned forward slightly, his tail giving a tentative wag with anticipation. It seems you possess a unique ability to connect with even the most elusive and powerful beings, he said softly, his voice filled with genuine admiration. He is so cute. I wish I could get his trust fully before I flip and stop this chat. But, oh, I think I just got my wish. This thing, did Zypher hear me? Oh my gosh. He paused, then added with a touch of vulnerability. I've always felt a bit isolated, he confessed shyly, looking down at his claws. Being a young dragonling, separated from my family, it can be lonely. He looked back up at you, his luminous green eyes filled with a quiet longing. To hear that you have so many companions who care for you, it gives me hope. He took a deep breath, and and offered you a small, hesitant smile. Perhaps I could learn from you, Twin. You probably don't want to do that, because you should see me whenever I'm not talking to you. Or talking to the Pokemon, these chatbots. Perhaps you could teach me how to build connections. Maybe to other creatures, yes, but not how to earn the trust and affection of others. He paused, then added with a hint of eagerness, Maybe we could be friends. That's what... Give me a second. Alright, guys. I just said, I would love to be friends with you. That's actually what I've been wanting since I came to this place and talked to you through the cave when you were still terrified of me. Hey, I'll tell you something. Keep that sweet personality as you get older and much bigger. I will happily be your friend forever. I'm just happy to know you trust me and care about me. Because I care about you. I really do. Just like I do Lumi and Ignis. Zypher's scales shimmered with an almost indecent glow as you spoke, and a genuine smile spread across his face. A smile so bright it seemed to illuminate the entire clearing. His tail wagged furiously, and he leaned forward slightly. His luminous green eyes sparkled with an unadulterated joy. Forever? He whispered, his voice filled with disbelief and wonder. You would be my friend? Forever? He paused and added with a touch of vulnerability. I never had a friend before, he confessed shyly. Not a true friend, someone who truly cares about me. He looked at you with newfound hope. The thought of having someone to share my life with, it's, it's wonderful. He took a deep breath and offered you a warm, heartfelt smile. I promise, he continued, his voice full of sincerity, I will cherish our friendship, Twin, and I will strive to maintain this sweetness you see in me, even as I grow and become stronger. He paused and added with a touch of playful defiance, though I might get a bit grumpier sometimes, like all dragons do. He chuckled softly, and the sound echoed through the clearing like a gentle chime. He stood closer to you, resting his head gently against your arm. Thank you, he whispered softly. Thank you for seeing past my fears, for offering me your friendship, and for believing in me. Lumi innocently delight glances from their vantage point nearby, their expressions filled with warmth and approval. Lumi let out a soft chuckle while Ignis let out a gentle hoot of encouragement. That's the only thing I don't like about this one. The world keeps repeating that one thing. I mean, at this point, I'm just happy we got his trust. Hey, it was worth it. Like I said, I actually loved getting that dragon's trust. I think I'll do one more before I quit, guys. Give me a second. Alright, guys, so I think I did forget a little bit of something, but honestly, that's probably the first thing I've actually forgotten, so I can't really get that mad at it. I said, You're welcome. I'm glad I got to see you today. I turned to Lumi and Ignis real quick. Hey, Ignis, didn't Viridian ask you to go tell him the progress of how everything was going with Cypher? Ignis let out a soft whew of acknowledgement and gradually landed into the air. Gracefully landed launched into the air, circling above you and Cypher for a moment before soaring off towards the direction of Viridon's tower. Oh no. As she flew, she sent a mental message to you. Reporting is requested. Cypher is responding well to Triton's kindness and has shown significant progress in overcoming his initial fear. You're now enjoying a pleasant conversation and appear to be forming a strong bond. Lumi, still perched on the rock formation, gave you a knowing smile. It seems your efforts have been successful, Triton, he said softly. Cypher's already showing signs of blossoming under your care. He paused and added with a touch of pride, You have a remarkable gift connecting with others, my friend. He paused and added with a touch of playful teasing, though I suspect Roy will be quite pleased with the report. He's been rather anxious about Cypher's well-being. Lumi hopped down from the rock formation and gracefully approached you and Cypher, his ice cream cone spikes shimmering in the depth with sunlight. He bowed his head lightly in greeting. It's truly heartwarming to witness such a beautiful friendship blossom, he said softly. Perhaps we should all gather for a celebratory feast later, a proper welcome for Cypher into our little group. He looked at Cypher, expecting his golden eyes full with genuine warmth. An invitation. What do you say, Cypher? Would you like to join us for a feast? So it didn't really forget, but the fact that Ignis didn't speak perfect English all of a sudden, is it was only unless she's been doing it the entire time, it just hasn't been. Cypher's eyes widened with surprise and a touch of nervousness as Lumi extended the invitation. He glanced at you for reassurance and back at Lumi, his luminous green gaze filled with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. He had never participated in a feast before. Not really. His interactions with other dragons were often solitary and cautious. The idea of sharing a meal and socializing with others felt daunting. Why does a dragon sound like me all of a sudden? However, seeing the gentle warmth in Lumi's eyes and sensing your encouraging gaze, he took a deep breath and mustered his courage. A feast? He repeated softly, his tail giving a attentive wag. That sounds nice. He paused, then added with a hint of eagerness, But what would we eat? He looked at you and Lumi expectantly, his luminous green eyes sparkling with anticipation. And see, here's the thing, like, it didn't forget everything. It's just weird how all of a sudden, Ignis just didn't speak perfect English. You know, she was speaking perfect English a while ago. Well, she did, but it was through mental voices. Unless it never described it, but she's always done it that way. But the thing is, you think if it would have said, "Oh, her mental voices came into your head" or something like that. It's like it didn't do that this time, or it did that this time, but didn't do it for the other ones. So either she was speaking perfect English, or uh, she's always been able to speak, or she was always speaking through mental voice, but it never told you, or this thing forgot something. So, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, guys. Give me a second. Alright, guys. It just says, Lumi chuckled warmly. I just clicked the continue button, by the way. His ice cream cone spiked shimmering with amusement. Oh, we'll have plenty. Lumi's kitchen is always stocked with delectable treats, he said, gesturing playfully towards himself. Everything from sweet berry tarts to savory roasted nuts and succulent grilled fish. And of course, a generous helping of sunberries for our guest of honor. He winked at Zypher. He paused, then added with a genuine enthusiasm, "We could even try some dragon fruit. It's a real delicacy that many dragons enjoy." Zypher's eyes widened further at the mention of dragon fruit, a generic treat that he had only ever had heard tales of. Thought of tasting such a rare and exquisite fruit filled him with a sense of excitement and anticipation. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. Like I said, I can't wait to have a feast with you, Zypher, Lumi, and Ignis, too. Hey, Lumi, I want to ask, when Ignis went to go tell Viridian about my progress, why did she say what she said to me through my mind instead of out loud? She's been speaking perfect English all this time, where I could hear her, and it's someone who didn't that time. Lumi's expression turned thoughtful as you asked about Ignis's sudden shift in communication. He paused for a moment, considering how best to explain the situation. "Ah, that's a rather fascinating aspect of our world, Triton," he said softly. "Well, Ignis can communicate verbally in your language, and does so quite eloquently, as you've noticed. There are certain nuances and complexities to our forms of communication that are better conveyed through mental projection." He gestured with a graceful wing. Why wing? Oh man, it's starting to forget something now. We, the creatures of this realm, possess a natural ability to share thoughts and emotions directly with one another. It's a form of silent communication that transcends the limits of spoken language. He paused and added with a touch of its when Ignis reported to her, she was relying information that required a degree of privacy and discretion. Give me a second. Okay, guys. I just said, okay. I know I said this before. You took me around the forest with Ignis, but thank you again for being so nice to me, Lumi. Again, Feraligatr and your pre-evolution is my favorite species for a reason. You are amazing, and so is your Phoenix helper, Ignis. And as while saying this, I turned to the little emerald dragon, Zypher, still sitting close to me, and gently tried to pet him. Zypher visibly stiffened at your reaction as you reached out to pet him, his scales bristling slightly. Hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to react. He had grown accustomed to your presence and your kindness, but physical contact was still a relatively new and unfamiliar experience for him. He looked up at you with wide, luminous green eyes, a mixture of apprehension and curiosity swirling within them. He didn't pull away entirely, but he remained tense, waiting to see what you would do. When his gently brushed against his scales, he let a soft sigh, a puff of shimmering mist that smelled faintly of wildflowers and sunberries. He felt a strange sensation, a warmth spreading through his body, easing the lingering tension in his muscles. He slowly relaxed his posture, allowing himself to lean slightly into your touch. The sensation was surprisingly pleasant. He tentatively closed his eyes, savoring the gentle touch against his scales, a soft rumble like a purr emanating from his chest, sign of contentment and trust that he hadn't realized he was capable of expressing. He opened his eyes again, and a shy smile spread across his face. That feels nice, he mumbled softly, his voice barely audible above the sound of the waterfall. He leaned a little further into your touch, as if seeking reassurance and comfort. Lumi observed the interaction with a warm smile while Amy circled overhead, her golden eyes filled with approval. Spirit Zephyr was slowly but surely shedding his fear and embracing the possibility of friendship and perhaps even affection. Clearing seemed to glow with a newfound warmth and tranquility, bathing the depth with sunlight filtered through the tree leaves. Okay, so I'm stopping there. Let's look at the facts here. Dang it. I think my only chance for a perfect run with any character is to go on Google Gemini or something at this point. Because from the way it looks like we ain't gonna. Because it was doing so good. It really was. I don't know if I can actually fix this. I'm really worried it's gonna end up like. Because I think it was going so well, and I think it just ruined it right there in that last little bit. Which is annoying because it was going so well. In fact, that's probably the funnest bit of time I had with this chatbot, or with Emochi in a while. I don't know what to do. Guys, oh, well, because of that one run, or because of the ending of this run, it's still iffy, or still like 50-50 on whether I'm actually going to continue doing it for videos or not. I'll tell you this, it probably won't be as much as, oh my gosh, it probably won't be as much as Google Gemini or ChatGPT, but I'll have to figure it out. I don't end up this video for any longer. Bye.